So this video will be about the gift versus the shadow. Dorian Yates from 1993 Mr. Olympia versus Phil Heath from 2011 Mr. Olympia. These photos have been taken from ambal.ru and muscletime.com. They have been combined and cropped by using Photoshop, so the measurements may not be 100% accurate. Let's get started with another mind-blowing, highly conditioned and striated analysis. The front double biceps shows the great biceps development Phil has. His biceps are peaky and perfectly extend towards his massive forearms. Phil used to perfectly hit this pose back then. His lat sweep is impressive and his small waist adds to the aesthetics of his V taper. His wheels are huge and separated. I've never been a fan of Dorian's biceps. They were among his least impressive groups. His wide lats show in this pose and his wheels look highly conditioned, but nowhere close in size to those of Phil. Another front double biceps shows the incredible size and the aesthetics Phil presented that year. His arms look insane in comparison to those of Dorian, whose biceps are completely humbled and overshadowed by Phil's guns. Phil's wide lats, small waist, and incredibly huge and conditioned wheels would definitely give him the win in this pose. The front lat spread shows the width and the density of Dorian's amazing lats. Dorian's conditioning that year was awesome, and it shows in the striations in his chest. His wheels look highly conditioned and separated. Although Phil doesn't hit an impressive front lat spread as that of Dorian, yet this pose shows the incredible development of his rounded shoulders and chest, massive arms and forearms, and his ripped waist. His wheels are definitely more huge than those of Dorian, highly conditioned and separated. Another front lat spread shows the mind-blowing lats of Dorian, who was known for hitting unmatched front lat spread. Although Phil looks amazing with the size and the aesthetics he presented that year, but Dorian would definitely win this pose. Both hit an incredible side chest. Their chests look complete and striated. Phil definitely has the more massive shoulders, arms, and wheels, but Dorian's chest looks insane. In fact, I like Dorian's side chest more, and I think he looks even more aesthetic than Phil does. But this pose is not only about the chest, as judges observe the shoulders, the arms, and the wheels, and Phil would easily edge Dorian in size when it comes to these groups, so he would win this pose according to bodybuilding standards. But for me, Dorian's chest looks unmatched here. Another side chest pose shows the incredible package they both had. Dorian's chest is thick and striated and in perfect position with his shoulders and arms, although not as huge or as rounded as Phil, but Dorian looks really great in this pose. But again, according to bodybuilding standards, I think Phil would still win, because this pose is not only about the chest. Both hit an incredible side triceps. Both have incredible triceps development, with Phil winning the size overall. Both show massive and conditioned shoulders, arms, and forearms. Their chest looks awesome and their midsection is tight and ripped, with Dorian having visible obliques. Their wheels look awesome and Dorian's calves are insane, but Phil's wheels are more huge. It's really a tough call to decide who would win this pose. Although Phil is known for hitting a great side triceps, but Dorian's pose in this shot looks more aesthetic and more comfortable hitting this pose. Dorian's overall conditioning was unmatched that year, but Phil would still edge him in his arms and wheel size. So, in my opinion, it could really go either way. The back double biceps shows the granite, sharp, ripped, defined, and conditioned back of the shadow Dorian Yates. With all due respect to Ronnie, Phil, and Big Ramy, but no one can reach this incredible level of conditioning and definition. This is simply inhuman. Look at the striations in Dorian's massive traps, ripped lats, Christmas tree and glutes, and his hamstrings are incredibly conditioned. Both have incredibly developed shoulders, arms, and forearms. Another back double biceps, it shows the aesthetic flow of Phil's lats, his striated glutes and conditioned hamstrings. But again, Dorian's granite back with the striations in his massive traps, lower lats, and Christmas tree are unmatched. Although his wheels are not as massive as those of Phil, but his hamstrings are incredibly ripped and conditioned. Dorian Yates would win the back double biceps. The lat spread shows the width and the thickness of Dorian's lats and massive traps. His glutes and hamstrings are striated and conditioned. Phil, on the other hand, hits a great pose too, but he doesn't look as hard or as sharp as Dorian does with his granite conditioning that year, at least in these back shots. Phil's lower back and glutes are incredibly conditioned, and his wheels are definitely more massive than those of Dorian. But Dorian's lat spread pose is on another level with its size and granite look, so Dorian would win this pose. The abs and thighs pose shows the incredible conditioning they both had. Although their abs are not among the best, yet both show highly ripped abs with visible obliques and small waist. The sweep in their lats is awesome, but Phil's thighs look double the size of those of Dorian. They are incredibly defined and separated. A great pose for them both, but I would give it to Phil due to the incredible development of his thighs over Dorian's. Both have great midsection though. The standing most muscular shows Phil's great traps, incredibly huge and rounded shoulders, rounded and pumped chest, massive arms and forearms, ripped abs, small waist, and incredibly huge and separated wheels. Phil's overall aesthetics clearly show in this pose. Dorian, on the other hand, looks incredibly conditioned with striations everywhere in his traps, shoulders, and chest. Although his conditioning was second to none, but Dorian wasn't known for hitting an impressive most muscular pose. Another most muscular pose shows the size and the aesthetics Phil has over Dorian in this pose. Phil's shoulders and arms look double the size of those of Dorian. Dorian's arms are completely humbled by Phil's insane arms and forearms. Both have thick and striated chest, but Phil would definitely win this pose. The crab most muscular shows the insane size Phil has in his shoulders, arms, forearms, and wheels over Dorian. Both have thick and striated chest, but Dorian's chest looks bigger, and the chest is probably the only bigger group Dorian has over Phil in this pose. Rather than that, Phil's package in the most muscular looks way more impressive, so Phil would easily win this pose. So bottom line, Phil would win the front double biceps, the abs and thighs, and the most muscular poses. Dorian, on the other hand, would win the front lat spread, the back double biceps, and the back lat spread. The side chest and the side triceps is a toss-up between them both. I personally prefer the way Dorian hits the side chest and the side triceps poses. But from an abstract bodybuilding perspective, which observes size as a major demand, I think Phil would win these two poses because his shoulders, arms, and wheels are more massive than Dorian's, and these groups win the majority of the points in these two specific poses. That was all for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Thanks for watching, and have a nice one.